Okay, hi everyone. So I'm gonna go over my um project. Just to start with, let's go down here to my book. So the theme that I chose that we're gonna be focusing on is family struggles. It's not necessarily like one specific idea of a family struggle or what it's more so of what like a family is going through. So it could be like the family's forced away from each other, they are treated differently because of skin color, so race, or they're trying to immigrate from a different country. So these are all like different types of family struggles with like different types of family struggles. So not all these stories are exactly alike, but they are all similar because the family struggles in one way or another. So the first book I have is From Far Away by Robert Munch. So I don't think I said that right, but and it was illustrated by Rebecca Green. So this is about a story of a young girl who flees from her home country because it was unsafe, so she goes to a different country. So she had a hard time in school because she did not speak the same language and she did not understand many of the things that were happening during school. So her teacher, that is shown here, really stepped up to help her and understand what was going on. So this shows family struggle because the family had to flee their own country because it was unsafe and they were in danger. So they came to the United States to get away from the danger to have a better life as a family. The second book I chose was Poncho Rabbit and the Coyote by Duncan Donahue and illustrated by him as well. So the book is about a father rabbit who sets out to find work for his family because there's no more work where they're living. And then the little son rabbit goes to try and find his dad, and he meets this coyote here, who helps him for a while, but then ends up not helping him at all and tries to eat all of his food, and then leaves once, or sorry, and then tries to eat the little rabbit when the food is gone. And then the father rabbit ends up losing all the money, so he has to go back for work. But this connects to the theme because the father rabbit has to leave his family to go and earn money for his family, so he leaves in order to better his own family and his own life. The next story is Between Us and Abuela, a family story from the border. It's by Matali Perkins and illustrated by Sarah Palacios. It's a story about a family that is has a reunion to their grandmother who they haven't seen in 5 years. They have a great reunion and they bring gifts, and it's just a really fun time for them. And this shows family struggle because they haven't seen their family in 5 years. Their grandmother they haven't seen in 5 years. This one is one of the only ones that has a happy ending where the family gets to have a reunion, and they have a great time bringing gifts, and they have a great time. The fourth book is Flowers from Sarajevo by John McCutcheon and illustrated by Christy Codwell. So this is actually a very sad story about a young boy and his city and his flower shop that his family run. So the boy has to run this flower shop alone after he sees that his city is being bombed and it's killing people, and it actually bombs this one of the stores that's right next to him. And then he's left alone to run this flower shop because his family has to leave. This connects to the theme because it's a family run business, and the young boy has to now run this business by himself because the city is being bombed, and he has to stay strong and run the flower shop for his family until they get back. The next book is Paper's Son, Lee's Journey to America by Virginia Shin Mulan and Helen Foster James, and illustrated by Helen Foster James. This is a story about a young boy who's trying to immigrate to the United States and could possibly be sent back to China if he does not pass the certain tests that are given. There are so many different tests that are given at the border. This connects to the theme because there are so many young children that are trying to immigrate into the United States to try and better their lives, and they have to leave their families behind to try and immigrate to better their own lives, but it's hard for them because they have to leave their own family behind. The sixth book I have here is I Am Not a Number by Kathy Kacer and Jenny K. Dupas, and illustrated by Gillian Newland. So this is actually one of the only true story that I have is it's about Irene, who is taken from her family and forced and taken into a Catholic boarding school. She's stripped of her name, forced to cut her hair, and forced to scrub the brown off of her skin. This connects to the theme because of the story of race, and she is stripped from her family, and she is forced to be something that she isn't because of the color of her skin. The seventh book I have here is New Shoes by Susan Lynn Meyer and illustrated by Eric Velasquez. This is a story about a young girl who goes to buy new shoes that all she's had is hand-me-down shoes, so she's really excited to go and try on these new shoes. And when she gets to the store, she's actually told that she's not allowed to try on these new shoes. And she is of color, so when a young non-colored girl walks in, the employee immediately drops everything and goes over to help this other girl that's now coming in. So this connects to the theme because of the story of race again, and she is not allowed to do things because of this color of her skin, and so is her family. Her family was not allowed to do things because of their skin color. The eighth book I have here is Henry's Freedom Box by Ellen Levine and illustrated by Kadir Nelson. This is a sad story about a boy that turns into a man. Henry, who is separated from his family when he is younger, and then he is also separated from his wife and children when he is adult because he is a slave. He is trying to escape to freedom, so he devises a plan to escape safely by mailing himself in a wooden crate. This again connects to the theme because he is taken away from his family when he's younger, and then again when he is older because of the race and the color of his skin. Okay, so let's go talk about the the categories. So one is contemporary realistic fiction and falls under the school and family story subcategory, which is Poncho Rabbit and the Coyote, because it has talking animals that does not occur in real life, but the father figure does go off to try and help make money for the family, and this is something that could occur in real life. Two are historical fiction and fall under the African American history subcategory. So Henry's Freedom Box and New Shoes fall under this historical fiction because although they are not true stories, they could definitely happen, and they did happen back in the day because of the color of their skin. And this was something that these families were struggling with. Another book that is historical fiction and falls under the Asian American history subcategory is Paper Sons, because again, it could have been a true story, but did not actually happen in real life, but it could have. And then we have one book is a biography and falls under the viewpoint subcategory. So I Am Not a Number follows the true story of a girl who is stripped of her name and forced to be something she is not and sent to a Catholic school because of the color of her skin. And it follows her viewpoint of what was happening through all these struggles that she had. And then the other three books were informational books and fall under informational picture books subcategory. So From Far Away, Between Us and Abuela, and Flowers for Sarajevo are informational picture books because they are giving the reader information about what happened to these families and what happened to them during these times. They are not necessarily true stories, but they could have happened in real life. So here, so these categories and subcategories are all kind of mixed and have a diverse range, and that was definitely intentional. So I could have different categories and subcategories to show that there are many ways to portray what is going on in real life and how we can portray that to a child who is reading in a way that they can understand. And then I have here a single book may fall into several categories. Some of these did fall into several categories, so I picked the one that it would fit best for. And then I have a couple quotes here that I thought were very interesting that follow the three peer-reviewed article. So it says family separation by the U.S. government is not a new practice. Throughout U.S. history, family separations have been imposed upon disadvantaged and vulnerable populations, causing fragmentations of family units of these groups and enduring consequences. So that also follows my theme of family struggles because they are trying to immigrate to better their lives. All three of my articles followed this theme. I have another one here that says since 2014 there has been an increase in the number of families immigrating from Central America who are seeking asylum in the United States. Most of these families actually do not get the asylum that they are looking for in the United States, and a lot of them are held in the detention centers, which follows one of my other articles that I have that I'll go back to. And then I have another one that says a vet is from a small municipality in coastal El Salvador that is dominated by the MS-13 gang. One day she was with her infant son in her home when she heard a series of gunshots and people running through the streets. So that's just a glimpse of what she was dealing with through this and what was going on in her hometown to eventually made her immigrate. Going back down to this other article here that I want to touch on. So the article that I chose is Separated at the Border, and it's a story of Andrea and her son by PBS, and it's a story about a mother, Andrea, and her son, Jose, who were immigrating to the United States, and they were separated at the border. She was held in a detention center for 3 years, so when they were finally able to get back together, her son didn't even trust her, and she mentioned in the article that it took several years for him to trust her again. And once he did trust her, he never wanted her to leave again, and he was very terrified that he would leave again, or she would be taken again. That connects to the theme, and also the other articles that I chose, because they were separated at the border and they did not get to see each other. So walking through my book analysis, so the patterns in the text that I noticed that emerged were immigration, stories of race, and another family member or a family member moving away to better their lives, and immigration and the one family member moving away actually go hand in hand in a couple of books, because they are immigrating to make their lives better and bettering it for their family. These are all defined as family struggles, but they struggle in different ways, and not one family is struggling in the same way. The sub-themes are the story of race and people wanting to better their lives. These people are doing their things for their family in order to better their lives and also their family. Another theme that I think would benefit greatly is the race theme, because several of my books are discrimination because of race, not only African American but also Asians. These would follow the same historical fiction category. I also think I wanted to touch a little bit more about my 3 articles that were cited, because I was more focused on the picture books, but I think integrating those articles was a good idea, and I think I should touch more on that. So I think that this would benefit more. And then these books, they might not have real characters or real things, but they definitely have a real story that could be true, and these things that actually happen in real life, and these are so important for children to understand and see what is going on in the real world, so they can understand when they get older how to fix it and what to do about it, and understand that just really what to do about it. But that was my book, that was my mini inquiry project. Thank you for your time.